Friends, in Universal Art, we used to call it Universal Book Club, I like to illustrate how God retells stories from the Bible, okay, about our human condition. And when we look at titles, captions of new books, we're reminded about history lessons, eternal truths about God's creations, words of wisdom. Let's go there. Susan Straight interview. Great stuff here. Mention of so many books she likes I've never even heard of. Getting Away with Murder. New books on crime. Okay. Straight White Male. John Updike's correspondence collected for the first time traces a life of literary brilliance, turbulent loves, and everyday pleasures. Meet Cute. This darkly comic campus novel explores the intersection of feminism, academia, and cannibalism. The sorority promises fertile ground with its rituals, hierarchies, and secret rules. Again, stories from the Bible in modern times, right? Operation Big Stick. A new history presents the U.S. wars in Cuba and the Philippines as part of a misguided project to spread freedom across the world. Portrait of the Artist. In this novel, an emerging painter asks what art means in an increasingly political world. Taylor imbues his cerebral bent with a fresh, tentative sweetness, anchored by a swoony romance. We can also just learn a lot about creative writing by watching how the pros do it. Synergy. These two coming-of-age novels share more than a title. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. That's interesting. Getting Away with It. A new book considers the dictator Augusto Pinochet, who eluded efforts to bring him to account for state-sponsored terror in Chile. This book moves back and forth in time as Sands tracks down documents and people to interview. The best illustrated children's books of 2025. I mean, these are great photos, graphic arts, and again, cover eternal truths, eternal themes. I named my daughter after Philip Pullman's heroine, a great essay on this wonderful author. The Thinker, the brisk book emphasizes Ludwig Wittgenstein's restless mind and Viennese family background. Great review there. Dispatches from the Front. The Columbian Journalism School Dean, Jelani Cobb, collects his writings on race and culture for The New Yorker. It's easy to read this book as a timeline of the unraveling of American democracy. Then it goes through the bestsellers and all that. And we end up with this interview of the Nobel Prize laureate, the pleasures of reading, Laszlo Krasznahorkai, recipient of this award. This is a great interview. And then I love these review of classics, dual storylines. So again, just retelling of stories from the Bible and ancient civilizations about our human condition. Both the bright side I call our human spirit, and the darker side I call our human nature.